T-Bone? Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Midday Rush. My name is T-Bone, and with me, as always, pushing the buttons is our dear Fluffy Hobo. And in our third chair, being as grumpy and wise as always, we have Brian.
Yeah, I don't like people on my lawn.
And today, we're going to be talking about Fluff. What's our first topic of the day? They're begging for forgiveness. Well, I don't really do a lot with video games, so you're gonna just have to remind me what
Eh,
what really went down. Ah,
See, all that's going to do is make somebody create an open source version of that game engine.
left Unity in the dust.
Hey, I got a great idea how Unity can improve their reputation.
Oh yeah.
No, they need to hire Dylan Mulvaney as their spokesperson.
Oh yeah, that one that yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't wasn't he hired by Anheuser Busch, or he wasn't hired, was he? Oh, and Nike? Wow. Yeah, no thanks, buddy. No, no thanks. So I'm more upset that they are giving them missiles. Why are you upset that they're giving them tank? Hey, but what can do more damage though? Oh, so they're not using them. They're reverse engineering them. Oh yeah, no, that's not a really
Uh,
good idea.
yeah, the Russians have a history of doing that. During World War II, three B-29 bombers were forced to land in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets, who were technically our allies at the time, decided to return the crews but keep the bombers, and they reverse engineered the bombers, and that was where the first the first Soviet long range bombers were basically, measurement for measurement exact copies of B-29s, and and the reason why the Russians did that is, for all his faults, giving away all these things on Lend Lease, B-29 bombers was specifically one of the things that we did not give Russia on Lend Lease. Stalin was salty about that, so he took matters in his own hands. So there's no doubt in my mind that if the Russians were somehow to capture an M182 tank, that would be the very first thing they would do, would be start ripping apart and reverse engineering it. Uh, yeah.
I'm still not a fan. I'm still not a fan of Ukraine war. It's not good. Not only is it not good, it's killing a lot of um people, and as bad as you want to look at it, there's still people. What?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, like a boatload of them. Gee, who would have guessed? You let people into a city that are unchecked, and don't give them any rules. You what do you think is going to happen? No rules are going to be followed, so chaos ensues. Correct?
Should I turn my camera on so you can see my shocked face?
I mean, who's talking? What? Oh,
I said, should I turn on my camera to
There we
show
go.
everyone
do
my
it,
face?
Yeah, go for it.
do it.
Okay, here it is. Here's my shocked face.
God damn it. Where did my browser go? There we
Did
go.
he turn it on? Did he turn on his camera?
I think so.
I don't know. I didn't even see it.
What is going on?
Ah,
Flaw.
Discord.
Is it Discord or is it YouTube's?
Uh, looks like there's issues going on with the with OBS up to YouTube. Looks like I'm
It's
having
all
issues on
Shark's
that.
fault.
It's all Shark's fault.
It's all Shark's fault.
Okay.
All Shark's.
All right. So here, do you guys know who Tim Scott is? Senator Tim Scott. He's running for the GOP presidential run.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a little bit of controversy going on right now.
Oh, do tell.
Senator Tim Scott hit with an unfair labor practice claimed by the UAW president. Uh, so Tim Scott's suggestion that the striking workers should be terminated. The claim was directed at Tim Scott for America, Scott's campaign committee, and cites Scott's statement, "You strike, you're fired." That is an actual quote from Scott. Scott defined his remarks referencing the former President Ronald Reagan's decision to fire air traffic controllers who went on strike. Essentially, Scott is pretty much saying, "You're striking. Find a new job. Goodbye." And this is with the United Auto Workers, I believe. And I don't know. This looks like political suicide to me.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
this
I
is
don't think that's smart.
no, it's not.
No, that sort of thing is red meat to Scott's base.
Wait, what do you mean by red meat to Scott's base?
Well, you got to understand, South Carolina is a right to work state and does have a significant automotive industry.
Mm-hmm.
But most people on the right are anti-union, by default.
Right.
So I don't think this is going to damage Scott nearly as much as you guys think it will.
Okay. I mean, that could be possible. I'm just saying in the fact that the auto workers are on strike, and then him pretty much say, "Just you're fired. Might as well just go away." That's kind of a thing that a lot of people, even my age, are like, "No, that should not be a thing."
The thing is, though, that there is a BMW plant in, I believe it's in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Sounds about right.
And like I said, South Carolina is a right to work state. And by and large, most Republicans, that's, the nomination he's going for, are knee jerk anti liberal. So and honestly, I wonder what grounds they have to issue an unfair labor practice against him. And does he own stock in BMW? Is he technically an owner, part owner of that plant? I don't know, but it seems a little. It's very dangerous. It seems to me because honestly, I think that's just campaign rhetoric coming from Scott. And this is another example of we're going to use we're going to use the power of whatever to silence thought we don't like, and this is just an example of that. That's my opinion. That's my take. Haven't read the article, not all that familiar with it, but that's my gut.
Okay. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to get a gut reaction on different things, to educate people on different things around the world. Speaking of around the world, don't take your kids to daycare in the New York Bronx. New York Police Department finds trapdoor and drugs hidden in a floor at Bronx daycare where 1-year-old died of a suspected fentanyl overdose. Surprise! Authorities uncovered a hidden compartment containing drugs at the Bronx Day Center following the death of a 1-year-old boy. The police department revealed the drugs were discovered beneath a play area in the center. Additionally, other narcotics and drug paraphernalia were found. The 2 individuals have been indicted with connection of overdose, and the daycare is linked to 3 other children hospitalized due to suspected fentanyl exposure. So this place was doubling as a daycare and then a drug market at night. So
the lengths that these criminals will go to. Oh my!
It's crazy, isn't it?
It sucks to say that you're not even safe taking your kids to daycare. Like this is outrageous. Brian, when you were a kid, What would happen? What would happen to the owner of this establishment if you were a kid?
Oh, they would have been tarred and feathered.
Or at least back in your day. Back in your day.
Back in my day, I mean, I never went to daycare. I mean, I stayed at home with mom until one day, when I was old enough, she walked me to kindergarten. And then after that, I walked my own ass to school and back every day. And then a lot of times when I got home, mom wasn't around because mom was working. She was working for dad and dad's company. So uh, back door was left unlocked all the time. I got home, I let myself in. I did my homework. I watched after I got done with my homework. I watched watched whatever TV shows, and then I went outside and played until the lights came on. And then when the street lights came home, I went home. Mom generally had supper ready. I ate, and then went off to my room to do whatever, read whatever, get out of mom and dad's earshot, and that's how I grew up. So I don't know anything about this daycare of which you speak.
We had a
Brian,
very similar childhood,
I'm just
Brian.
saying, what would happen? What would happen to a family or to the person that would have owned this drug store slash daycare?
Oh, they would have been shunned by the community, and then most likely somebody would have died. Remember the phrase, and it is a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, shoot your local drug dealer. Nope, it was shoot your local drug dealer. By the way, I do not condone that kind of sentiment, but
yeah, no, neither do I.
That was a big thing. I believe it was 15 years ago. And that was scary for a lot of local police because there's going to be a lot of shootings then because there's a lot of drug dealers that they could not nail down. And
so they were just what? So you're telling me that people were just going and shooting their local drug dealer?
What? Yep, that's what they were doing.
Why?
Are all these guys millennials? No, I believe I am the only millennial up here.
I forget what I am. What am I, Fluff?
I think you're a Gen Z.
I couldn't even tell you.
We got a healthy age group up here.
These generations are so fuzzy; they don't make any sense.
In contrary to popular opinion, I am not a boomer. I am a Gen Xer.
Yep.
No, you're like you were born in 19.
Shut up, T-Bone. All right, we're gonna move over to something funny here.
I'm going to stop you before you go there. STFU.
So Biden handed Kamala Harris. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, we'll do this one first.
What?
Biden handed a major legal defeat in an attempt to restrict oil, gas drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. So a federal court in Louisiana.
Wait, I thought he said that drilling for gas was bad.
He did.
Or is that fracking?
Both. He said both were bad.
Yeah.
So a federal court in Louisiana has ruled against the Biden administration restrictions on upcoming offshore oil and gas lease sale. The judge granted a preliminary injunction request from the plaintiffs, including the state of Louisiana, the American Petroleum Institute, Chevron, and Shell, to block the Bureau of Ocean Energy and Management restrictions on the lease sale of 261 in the Gulf of Mexico. The administration removed the 6 million acres for sale and imposed a vessel restriction to protect the rice whale species. Kane, the judge, ordered a lease sale to proceed under its original conditions by September 30th. The decision was seen as a significant legal setback for Biden administration efforts to limit offshore drilling. So, essentially, this judge in Louisiana told Biden to go pound sand. Drill, baby, drill, is the memo that was pretty much passed around. So it's possible we could see oil prices going down again.
We're going to see oil prices go down. So does that mean we're going to see gas prices go down?
If this drilling rig goes through and gets up and running with no snags, it's possible by February next year we should see gas prices go down.
I'm predicting this right now. What day is this? This is Friday, September 22nd.
Correct.
2023. If this is true, and you're saying this goes live in what, February?
So the building procedure will go through here soon, and the estimated up and running should be in February.
So if that's true, then Biden's big claim to fame, or the way he's going to spin this entire thing, is on how he's going to get reelected. I'm predicting this right now, is that gas prices are going to be so low. He's going to say, look at what I did, everybody. Gas prices are at $1 something.
Come on, Jack.
Back
I
when
got
I
you
was a
oil.
kid. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna work. However, I'm predicting it right now. That's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, yeah.
Well, not to throw a wet blanket on it, but I think I don't. Yeah, if we open up a little bit more production in the Gulf, fine. Ultimately, that production will reach the market. Supply, demand, greater supply should drive prices down. But I think I don't think that will translate into actual real savings. It'll take a couple of years of steady production.
Oh, most
Uh,
likely.
and on top of that, the biggest thing that has put us in a bind on domestic oil production is, you remember when Trump came in, he opened up all the leases on federal lands. He opened up all those leases, and we get
More
and
fracking.
more fracking,
Yeah.
and that improved domestic oil production to the point where, for the first time in decades, the United States was a net oil exporter. And then Biden comes in,
Oh
and
yeah, I remember that.
he basically undid everything Trump did, because my environment, or more like, got to pay off our overlords at the WEF, cut American energy production and keep those energy prices high.
Cause Corn Pop's a bad dude, man.
Right.
Wait, do it
But
again. Do the line again.
Cause Corn Pop's a bad dude, man. I'm not good at doing Biden. I'll leave that to Seamus from now on. How about that?
I mean, there's a couple people in here that can do a really good Biden.
Oh yeah. Some other things about Biden. Biden gives Kamala Harris another job. Presidential taps the VP to run the first ever federal gun violence prevention office. So before
she's gonna do the exact same thing like she did with the border.
Before you get your pitchforks out, let me give you a quick summary here. So Harris is to lead the newly established Gun Violence Prevention Office. This decision adds another significant responsibility to Harris's growing portfolio. The announcement will be made formally in the Rose Garden. The Biden aide will... Wait, what? I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Mr. Feldman, a seasoned Biden aide with over a decade of experience in gun policy, will be the director of this office. Harris, with the background as a prosecutor and state attorney general, brings substantial experience to this role. I can't believe I wrote this as a summary. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? However, so she's going to oversee the nation's most pressing and politically sensitive issues, quoting the Daily Mail on this one, including voter rights, abortion, migration. Harris emphasized the importance of the new office that she's going to be doing, which is reducing violence and calling for collaboration among leaders of various levels. So this establishment is going to be looking at hindering the Second Amendment more and more. They're going to be looking at any violent crime with a gun and giving federal crime status on it, not state level, federal level crimes.
So basically, I mean, I'm of two minds upon this. One mind says, well, she hasn't done shit in the other special assignments that Biden has given her. So we might be all right. But the other half of me says, no, this is something that she'll sink her teeth into, because she was formerly infringer in chief in the most infringing state in the fucking union. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah. This is awful. There's no other way of getting around it. This is awful.
Wait, Brian or Fluff, correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever Kamala was the person in charge, didn't she work in government in Cali
She
or
was the
something?
state prosecutor in
In
California.
Cali?
Yep.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Did she or did she not keep more people in the jails for longer than they were intended to
So
be?
she had people in jail and set them up as mandatory firefighters to fight the wildfires, and even extended people's sentences just so they could have free firefighters to work, essentially. Or not free, they were like making 12 cents a day.
Oh, so
Basically free.
would that fall under slave labor, or that would not fall under slave?
So, because they were technically a felon, I don't know what the slave labor laws are for it, but I know it's definitely below human decency pay. And I'm not a legal expert, but it's all trash. That's all there is to it. It's just all trash. Mostly because there is a volunteer fire force that prisoners can
Well,
undertake. Go ahead, Brian.
the shady thing about that deal with Harris is because
Oh yeah, tell me, Brian.
she was a lot of those guys were supposed to be released because they were in there on, relatively minor drug crimes like marijuana, that kind of shit.
Yep.
But she kept them in there, for that cheap labor firefighting force, and at the same time she bragged about how she used to toke up in college. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what at college?
She used to smoke a lot of weed.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna move right along here. Ex FBI agent linked to Russian oligarch admits concealing payments. This one's a doozy. So the former senior a doozy. The former senior FBI agent Charles McGoliga admitted to hiding $225,000 in cash payments from a former Albanian intelligence officer, with whom he planned to start a security consultation business after his FBI retirement. He pled guilty to the material fact. Other charges were dropped. He admitted guilt in separate cases related to working with Russia's oligarch during U.S. sanctions. And the concealment charge could lead to a 5-year prison term, but a lighter sentence is anticipated due to the plea deal. So, more proof the FBI is corrupt.
Wow.
And this is Reuters. Before you come after me, this is Reuters reporting it. So
yeah, no, I can't believe that one. No, that's wild.
I almost used this.
That really is.
I
That's
almost
crazy.
used this as the article to go against the Babylon Bee. I almost did, but I'm like, no.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, there's no way. It's so weird. It has to be true. Speaking of being so weird, it has to be true. Everyone's gonna get a kick out of this. Fat Bear Week gets ready to select an Alaskan National Park's favorite fattest bear.
Oh, Ryan, look at that.
Look at this junk.
Ryan.
So
There for a minute, Fluffy. I thought you were going to shout out freaking gay sex, freaking hotline or something.
So you can go to the national park website and vote for the fattest bear. And the voting will occur from October 4th to October 10th, and the winner to be announced later. The fattest bear will be in the local newspaper in Alaska and will be the representative for the Brooks River National Park. This was just funny. I couldn't pass it up. I thought this was hilarious.
Brian, I don't want to make any. I'm not making any.
America's so fat, we have a fattest bear competition. Diabetes. All right. Quick update. There's an East Coast storm called Ophelia. I wish I was making this up. They named it Ophelia. The tropical
mushrooms.
He's not fat, he's fluffy. Yeah, fair enough. So the tropical storm Ophelia is set to impact the East Coast this weekend, making landfall in North Carolina on Saturday. So if you're in North Carolina up to New England, please be careful. The North Carolina governor has already declared a state of emergency. They're expecting a bunch of storm surges, floodings, and strong rip currents. The mid-Atlantic to southern New England could receive 2 to 4 inches of rain over the weekend. So everyone that is in that area, please take caution when you're going outside this weekend.
Oh, wait. When is this happening this weekend?
It's expected to hit landfall this weekend, yes. Or tonight, too, this weekend.
My mom's supposed to be driving that in those states.
Okay. I'm just letting you know this is relevant news to some of our audience. Just keep that in mind.
I should let her know.
Okay.
Hey, Ma, you're going to be in a storm. Just chill out, bro.
And this one, I don't know what to make of this one, so I kind of want your guys' opinion on it. Yeah. Senator Bob Menendez and his wife Nadine indicted on bribery charges. So the New Jersey senator and his wife have been indicted on bribery charges, accused of accepting significant sums of return for the senator's influence in the benefit 3 New Jersey's businessmen and the Egyptian government. The charges include a conspiracy to commit bribery and other related offenses. The couple alleged they received cash, gold bars, and other valuables. Federal agents found over $480,000 in cash and gold bars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home. Mendes is accused of secretly aiding the Egyptian government and providing them sensitive U.S. government information. The senator and his co-defendants will appear in court on Wednesday. If convicted, they will have to forfeit the property and assets. This is the second indictment that Mendes has faced since the election of the Senate in 2006. So.
Okay, I turned my camera on to everyone my shocked face.
I've got to say,
there's a corrupt politician from New Jersey.
Right? It's one of those things. It's just, man, that's the fact that this is the second time since 2006. Oy, oy, oy. But that's all the news. Yep. That's all the news I got for you today. Do you have any remarks for that one, T-Bone?
Do I? I mean, genuinely, I hate bribery. I hate people lying. Like, no. Just disgraceful, distrustful.
I kind of wish the article went into detail about why Egypt, why the Egyptian government. It didn't, though, and I couldn't find any information on why he would work with the Egyptian government.
Does he want to sell off
I don't know.
Important information to them? Like,
that's just the thing is I don't know. Like, I keep looking for more information on it, and I just can't find any.
To do what? He was given money to do what?
Give sensitive information about the U.S. government. So that would put him as a traitor, wouldn't it?
Treason?
But I don't know if
treason?
But is Egypt really one of our enemies, though? That's the thing.
Wait, I thought they were an ally. So is that really? That's not even treason. That's just giving...
Right.
But it's still classified information, though.
It's still weird. It's just the whole situation is weird.
Trust me, any intel Egypt gets passed straight along to Syria and ISIS and makes its way to Iraq. So, not good and possible and most likely treasonous.
Okay. All right, everyone. Are you ready for the bee or not the bee?
The bee or not? It's called the bee or not.
The bee or not the bee?
No, it's the bee or not.
Okay. I'm not changing what I typed.
Just break down the letters. Just do a little delete the last couple letters.
How about no?
The bee or not.
The bee or not the bee? Actually, this might be
we're doing 3 again.
We're doing 3 again, only because it works so well for everyone. All right, everyone.
It doesn't. It's so hard. It's so hard.
Well, get better, scrub. All right, everyone. Quick rules for the bee or not the bee.
The bee or not.
You are voting for the fake article. I'm going to read the articles out, and if you'd like to vote in chat, go ahead. I will keep a tally mark to the side. I'm not going to shame you if you get it wrong. This is the whole part of the joke. So,
No, but
T-Bone,
they do shame me for getting it wrong.
are
though.
you ready?
But when I do get it right, you know how we celebrate.
Are
You
you
know how we
ready?
do it.
And
I am very ready.
hey, oh, by the way, on this one, T-Bone, I talked to
Yeah.
Base earlier. You weren't in the room, and she claims to be 100%. So she claims to be batting 1,000 on this. So just saying.
Oh, so she already got it right?
Nope.
No,
Oh.
she doesn't know what this is.
Oh. Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm going to read the articles off. Remember, you're voting for the fake. If you resold the Taylor Swift Eras tour ticket, the IRS is watching. Democrats warn that American people may tamper with the next election. Fetterman agrees to wear a suit to save democracy. Get your votes in.
This is hard. I mean, Uncle Fester only wears, hoodies.
Right.
The left, well, the right has been warning about that for so long. Okay, fine. And then T Swizzle, T Swizzle. Does anybody? I mean, people like T Swizzle, right?
Yes. A lot of people like Taylor Swift. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with number 3. Number 3 is definitely a lie because Uncle Fester is totally not gonna be wearing a suit anytime.
Alrighty. Everyone got their votes in. Oh, there's a lot of people that think number 3 is fake.
Yeah, well, that's because Uncle Fester doesn't wear suits, buddy.
All right.
Watch it. I'm gonna be so salty if it's not number.
From the Babylon Bee, Democrats warn that American people may tamper with the next election.
Whoa. That was my second choice. I would have won.
Base lost.
Yo.
You too, babe. You're not batting 1,000 anymore.
Shenanigans. This is BS.
From Gizmodo, if you resold Taylor Swift era tickets, the IRS is watching you. And Fox News presents Fetterman admits the dress code controversy, agrees to wear a suit to save democracy and avoid a shutdown.
You know that's not gonna happen. Dude, he looks. I can't believe what is he again?
Uncle Fester?
What?
He's a senator.
What position does he hold right now?
He's a senator.
It's not brain dead, man. It's
He looks like an 80s porn star with the mustache.
Okay, but what's his elected position?
He's a senator. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't.
T-Bone, my man. He is a senator from your home state of Pennsylvania.
No, it's not true. Say it's not true.
Your people voted for this.
No.
I got you.
This hurts.
I knew that would get him. I knew it.
you know how I dislike Uncle Fester.
All right, everyone. We're going to open up the floor for people to come up to the audience.
Before we open up the floor.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Let us hear the wisest of the grumpiest.
I got to turn my camera on for this because I came across something earlier today.
Already know?
No, This is definitely not a good sign.
It's a garden.
God damn it, Brian!
I thought you'd like it.
This is not a good sign. For those of you on YouTube, Brian held up a sign that said bad. Oh my god, that's great. Alrighty. We're going to open the floor to call it for people to come up and talk. Again, this is going out to YouTube, so please be conscious of your words a little bit. Hailguard, again, 5 for 5.
Gotta keep the streak going.
Yeah.
As long as I can.
First time caller, long time shit poster. Hailguard joins us. How can I help you, sir?
That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love it.
You're welcome. It's Friday. I stopped caring.
Not quite as pertinent information, but T-Bone, I'm kind of surprised you guessed the Fetterman one, because the only way I could see that one going as fake is if they referred to it as his birthday suit, and that was about it. Because being what we've seen from Fetterman thus far and the Democrats in general, like, it does not surprise me at all that he would say something like that.
I see the thing you disregard is I didn't think he could actually say a sentence.
You know what? I do stand corrected. You are correct there. The actual functionality of being able to say a sentence does elude him sometimes.
Yeah,
as does with our commander in chief.
It's sad. No, it really is. But
it is.
Yeah, it's sad. That's all I have to say.
Think we have way too many unable-bodied individuals in government right now.
That's a nice way of putting useful idiots.
Wait, what about the one guy who just did the stare for 2 minutes? Again.
Oh, that was my senator, Mitch McConnell.
Oh
yeah, you guys. Oh yeah, Brian, I'm gonna trash talk you now. You guys voted him in. Oh yeah, how do you feel about that? Voting somebody in who does stalls.
Look, even people from Kentucky don't know how Mitch McConnell still wins.
Yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery to us as well. Yeah.
Well, I believe it was discussed on today's Culture War podcast about how to go about really securing elections, and that's falling back on paper ballots.
Right.
Oh, the Culture War podcast was such a wonderful episode today, Fluff.
Yes.
If you'd like to talk about it, I would love to.
It was
shout out for those, Fridays, Culture War podcast. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours of just a discussion between individuals, sometimes right, sometimes left, sometimes libertarian.
Right.
Got to do due diligence.
My take on the culture war today is more based off of, I'm glad that we got 2 FBI agents to sit down and actually talk like normal individuals. That was big to me.
Yeah, I was really surprised, and the stuff that they were saying, like, they weren't really going into detail about things, but like the stuff that they were saying, my jaw was dropping tenfold because of just like it just kept coming and coming and coming, and I was genuinely I couldn't understand. I understood all the information, but it was a lot.
Oh yeah.
And the downside is listening to some of that stuff is such a major black pill, but it's also the reality of the situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, for those of you out there, check out the YouTube channel Tim Pool and watch the Culture War from Friday 9/22. It's worth the listen. Like, the couple of the Culture Wars have always been like very I don't know, like when a lot of like
I
people who
wasn't a
don't
fan of the Brianna Wu one.
right.
I'm not gonna lie.
There's a lot of like crosstalk and a lot of bitching back and forth sometimes, but this time was very educational for a lot of what's going on in the internals of the FBI and a lot of different things. It is
The one thing that I really did love, Fluff, is that the two FBI agents more or less said, correct me if I'm wrong, there is more or less no need for the FBI.
they pretty much said, yeah, we don't need any goddamn FBI. There's no need for it because they were working 1 hour a week and nothing changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brianna Wu, I don't know. That's the whole Gamergate situation, and that whole thing just kind of smells funky from a distance. I don't know. But Hailguard, anything else, sir?
Nothing that immediately comes to mind. So,
Alrighty.
as always, thanks for having me up here.
We'll see you Monday.
Thanks for doing your guys' Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else like to come on stage? We got about 10 minutes until we do the handoff to the pre-IRL show.
The pre-IRL show that I don't even know what they're going to be talking about today. I think they're going to be talking about the culture war.
Yeah, they're going to be going into more detail about the culture war.
And there's no official announcement tonight on the guest yet, so stand by. It's Friday. We may not get one.
Yeah.
Brett Mac may not
There's no
out till 7 or so, but it's okay.
Yeah, there's no call-ins tonight anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty.
I mean, come on. The tail end of this show, much like the After Dark IRL, depends upon callers. So please raise your hands. Let's get you up here. Speak your mind.
I'm gonna invite someone to speak. I'm gonna try to.
I mean, listen. If all you want to do is get up here and tell me to shut the fuck up, then do it.
Yeah. We're here to answer questions, concerns, or any kind of clarification that you may need. Yes, I was aware Brianna Wu was a dude.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that? I think we covered it here.
Did we?
Yes. Thorson, welcome, sir. How may I help you?
Hey, is my mic too loud?
Nope, you're good.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just got invited on stage. What's going on?
T-Bone, did you invite him on stage?
I did, yes.
Did you force this man on stage?
I did, yes. Thorson, we just had some wonderful conversations over in VIP. I just thought you'd have something to say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my main focus is constantly our national conversation and how tribalism works. Because as far as I can see in the vast majority of conversations where people are trying to figure things out together in all areas of life, we're talking past one another. We're frustrating the fuck out of each other, and contempt is continuing to rise. And so whoever wants to talk about those things and figure them out together, I've spent the last 7 years and about 27,000 hours just invested on that. I've created a lot of documents. I've created I'm heavily invested in it because we have to turn the ship around. I definitely see us heading towards civil war like Tim Pool does if we don't turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just all there is to it is, yeah. The more days go by and the more things get darker and harder, I feel like we're going to end up seeing a major conflict as much as I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hailguard returns.
Oh, hello again. Directing a little more towards Thorson here. Thorson. The only kind of issue with even attempting a dialogue between one side and another is all of the concessions will be one directional. Because if I understood what you were saying there is like putting it in plain terms, left and right, the left is not going to cave on really anything. So it would end up being the right conceding to the left. And like, I don't see any way that it could go the other direction.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated and there's a lot to unpack, but basically there's a whole field in philosophy that has to do with discerning fact from opinion. It's called epistemology, and the average person isn't taught what these things are. I wasn't taught what they are at all. Like it's not even in college. I know people that do Einstein level theory calculations in their fucking head, but they don't know what the most basic logical fallacies are, like black and white fallacy, call to authority, straw manning, bandwagon fallacy. And these things are constantly disrupting all conversations. This isn't just about our highest echelons of political discourse. This literally has everything to do with table discussions between family members, between husband and wife over a huge list of things. We're all constantly displaying a high levels of bad behaviors that are making us foolish. We don't know that we are being fools because we weren't. It's like us having to constantly do mathematic algebra equations every day for our work, but we weren't taught them. That's how, that's what's happening inside of our political discourse, inside of our discourse everywhere. Like there's around 160 logical fallacies. There's about 20 different biases. And these are largely not taught to the average American, but we're acting like they can just constantly just go into average conversations and engage in the battle of ideas without the tools to do so. And then when they're yelling and screaming at one another, then we're just like, oh, that person's a fucking asshole. Oh, that person chose to do that. Like, one of the things that I think that I found is like how hysterical behavior and hysterical thought manifests inside of a person when they're constantly talked down to and they're not, any of their positions aren't validated, they're not acknowledged. It makes a person hysterical. That's my view. That's my belief. But then when you look at a person displaying hysterical behavior, like somebody on the far left or left, and go, oh, look at how bad and terrible that person is. But the left and the right are constantly not completely dismissing most of what the other side is saying. And so we're frustrating the fuck out of each other. But yeah, I can go on and on and on. It's a really complicated topic.
Oh yeah, it is.
How we arrive at truth, its rules of tribalism. But go ahead, sorry.
Philosophy in general is a very difficult topic to discuss as it is, because it requires being able to remove your own ideologies from the conversation, and even sometimes your own ideas of what actually is. And I found personally one of the difficulties in talking with people from both right and left is their inability to remove their own ideas from the conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, in a sense it does.
Their sense of self is very attached to what they believe.
Yes. And then they view a questioning of the idea as a personal attack on the individual, when that is not necessarily the case.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the case. That's kind of the place we're at in political discourse in this country. We've become so fragmented, so segmented, so polarized that I'm right, and if you don't agree with me, then you must be evil, and that's on both sides. It's both sides.
Yep. It's really terrible. We can't have discourse. So what I constantly try and imagine is that we're all sitting at a table, all of us, and we have a well in our town, and we have to figure out what we're going to put in it to remove bad bacteria that's causing illness. And half of us think one thing and half of us think the other. And we think if the other side gets their way, we're all going to die. But if we can't care where we're wrong, we don't know how to actually do that. People will find other forms of warfare to get whatever it is they want done. That's why we are absolutely headed for horrible violence in the future if we can't fix our national conversation.
Absolutely. Hailguard, I'll give you a couple of moments here to retort that if you'd like. But we will be starting to wrap up here soon.
I was actually just about to point out that it looks like Slick has had their hand up for a little bit. So
No, T-Bone
thought-
invited him on stage. I already know
okay.
that.
Gotcha. Just didn't want to
We're good. We're good.
take too much.
I'm
but-
trying to get him to talk, but it's okay.
If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
at this time, Slick is probably driving somewhere. So,
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
hey, Fluffy, take us on out, man.
alrighty, everyone. Hailgard, Thorson, thank you both for being up here.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You guys can catch the show at the Fluffy Hobo Show on YouTube.
Correct.
It's recorded. It is
Yep.
recorded, so just go over and take a look at that whenever you are done here. We are going to be getting ready to hand it off to Joey Cannoli, Olivia Claire, and Sanoski for the pre-IRL show.
Mhm.
My name is T-Bone. Fluff, end it off.
Everyone, thank you for being here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And if you dare choose, you can follow me at Fluffy_Hobo on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I promised myself I'll shit post more, so you can probably find a bunch of weird memes there. All right, until then, everyone, I believe we will see you all Monday.
Yep. Hey, just a couple things before we end the stage. Just want to talk about a couple of events coming up on the weekend and tonight. There will be a start the weekend show as soon as IRL is over.